Good morning to all. Welcome back to 7th Standard Social Online class. Students, we are studying Geography Unit 2 Landforms. In our previous class, we have discussed about the two processes of endogenic process and exogenic process. Because of these two processes, various landforms are formed on the Earth's surface. And we have studied the meaning of gradation, weathering and erosion. What is the meaning of gradation? It is a process of leveling of high land through erosion and filling up of low land through deposition. And weathering is nothing but breakdown of rock into small pieces. Breakup of rock into small pieces. Erosion means the movement of soil, rock particles or small particles is transferred from one place to another place. This is we call erosion. And there are some natural agents like a river, wind, waves, glacier. They are doing the process of erosion, transformation and deposition. And in our last class, we have discussed about the river and its course. The starting point of the river is called river source and the ending point of the river is called river mouth. All the rivers are originated in a mountain or hill. So the starting point that we call river source, and all the rivers they join into some lake, sea or an ocean. This is we call river mouth. So we have completed one agent, river, fully. Today we are going to see about the glacier. Glacier, it is a large body of ice moving down, slowly down a slope or valley due to gravity is called a glacier. If a mountain, the point of the mountain, the head of the mountain is covered by ice and the ice become a rock because of high density, high gravitational force, the big ice rock is moving slowly down on a slope or valley is called glacier. Glaciers are grouped into two, mountain or valley glacier and continental glacier. We can classify the glaciers into two, mountain or valley glacier and continental glacier. Continental glacier, the glacier covering a vast area of a continent. If a continent covered fully with the ice sheet, thick ice sheet, this is we call continental glacier. For example, Antarctica, Greenland. This continent is fully covered by thick ice sheet. So this is we call continental glacier. Mountain or valley glacier is a stream of ice flowing along a valley. Mountain glacier is a stream of ice is flowing along the valley. It usually follows from a river courses and are bounded by steep sides. Example, Himalaya and the Alps. This Himalaya mountain and Alps mountain, they are covered with some ice. This is we call mountain or valley glacier. Glaciers erode the landscape by leveling soil and stones to expose the solid rock below. This glacier also they are doing the work, erosion and deposition. Because of these two processes, various landforms are formed in the snow area. Cirque, it is a glacially eroded rock basin. The ice rock eroded side laterally. This is we call cirque with a steep side wall and steep head wall surrounding an armchair shaped depression. You see here, this is a mountain and the top is covered by snow or ice. The head of the mountain and side of the mountain, the mountain wall and the head wall, both are eroding. So because of the erosion, an armchair depression is formed. See here, it seems like armchair. So this armchair shaped depression is called cirque. Example, Corrie, Scotland, United Kingdom and Core in Germany. Students, see this cirque. We can see this cirque in Himalaya mountain and Alps mountain. Armchair depression is formed here. As the ice melt, they get filled up the cirque with the water. You see that whites are ice. When the white snow began to melt, that armchair lowland or filled with water, and it became a beautiful lake in the mountain called Torn Lake. Now this one, Torn Lake. When two adjacent cirques erode toward each other, the previously rounded landscape is transformed into a narrow, rocky, steep-sided ridge called Ortiz. You see here, when two adjacent cirques eroding day by day, the armchair depression is transformed, the shape is transformed into a narrow, rocky, steep-sided ridge. This is we call Ortiz. Another landform formed in the snow area or glacier area, U-shaped valley is found beneath the glacier, which is deepened and widened by the lateral and vertical erosion. Because of side erosion and vertical erosion, the armchair depressions, it began to wide. It became deep and widened. The material carried by the glaciers such as rock, big and small, sand and silts get deposited. Here all the materials transformed by the glacier are deposited here. These deposits form glacial moraine. You see here, moraine. Another natural agent, wind. Can you see desert? It is fully covered with soil, vast soil. Try to collect some pictures of sand dune. We can see this sand dune in the desert area. An active agent of erosion deposition in the desert is wind. So here the deposition and erosions are doing by one agent called wind. The wind only carry the soil particles and this is only deposited in another area. In desert you can see rocks in the shape of a mushroom commonly called desert area. This is mushroom rock. You see here, this is first it is a single rock, but the bottom is made up of soft rock and top of the rock is hard rock. Soft rock easily eroded, so it become like a mushroom. So this is mushroom rock. Winds erode the lower section of the rock more than the upper part. Here the rock lower section, the bottom of the rock is made up of soft material. So it easily get eroded. The upper part is hard rock, is made up of hard rock. So it is not eroding. So upper part is a broad one and lower part become narrow. It seems like a mushroom. Therefore such rocks have narrower base and wider top. An isolated residual hill standing like a pillar with rounded tops are called Inselberg. So Inselberg, this is Inselberg, is an isolated pillar. In the desert area we can see this rock standing isolating. Isolated pillar rock is called Inselberg. Example, Inselberg in the Kalahari Desert of South Africa. When the wind blows, it lifts and transports sand from one place to another place. Already we know that if the wind blows, it brings all the sand particles, it lifts all the sand particles and transport to another place. When it stops blowing, the sand fall and gets deposited in low hills like structures. These are called sand dunes. When the speed of the wind become low, it deposited all the sand particle in that area. That we call sand dune. The crescent shaped sand dune are called bargons. It is in a crescent shaped, half circle shaped. This is we call bargons. You see here, this is a sand dune, but it look like a crescent shape, half moon shaped. This is we call bargons. When the grains of sand are very fine and light, the wind can carry it over very long distances. If the soil particles are in a lightweight, the wind it can carry these particles for a long time, long distance. When such sand is deposited in a large area, it is called loess. You see here loess. Large deposits of loess are found in China. The northern China Louis deposits are brought from Gobi Desert. The soil particles are brought from Gobi Desert and it deposited in northern China. Another agent, that is coast. A part of the land adjoining or near the sea is called sea coast. Note this one. A part of the land adjoining near the sea is called sea coast. The boundary of a host where the land meet water is called coastline. Where the boundary of a host where the land meets is called coastline. The coastal area are subject to change due to wave erosion and wave deposition. Here the waves are their agents. They are eroding the materials and they are transporting from one place to another places and they are depositing. You see here the coastal landforms. The erosion and deposition of the sea waves give rise to coastal landforms. The coastal landforms are formed by the erosion and deposition work of sea waves. Sea glyph is a steep rock faces form when the sea waves dash against them. Cliff means it's a rock, half of the rock is entering into the sea. Sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. The sea waves often strike against the rock. So the cracks develop in the rock. Over time, they become larger and wider. So over the time, that crack become wider and bigger. Thus, hollow-like caves are formed on the rock. A hollow-like features is formed on the rock. This is we call sea caves. You see here, this is sea glyph. The sea waves are strike against the rock continuously. Because of this continuous work, first a crack was formed, then the crack is began to widening and enlarging. Automatically the sea caves form. You see here the sea cave. As the cavity of a sea caves become bigger and bigger, only the roof of the caves remain, thus forming sea arch. Further erosion break the roof and only walls are left. These wall-like features are called stack. You see here, this is sea arch. The first picture is sea arch and here separately a wall-like pictures, a pillar-like pictures. This is we call sea stack. The sea waves deposit sediment of sand and gravel along the shores, forming beaches. Sandbar is an elongated deposition of sand or mud found in the sea, almost parallel to the coast. This is beach and sandbar. We can visit this area. We can near the Pondicherry beach. We can often visit here beach and sandbar. The first longest beach in the world is Miami Beach. You know this one in South Florida in USA. The second longest beach is in the world is our Marina Beach in Chennai. You know this one, very important GK question and one word question. And lagoon is a shallow stretch of water partially or completely separated from the sea. A part of the water is separated from the sea. Chilka Lake in Odisha, Pulkat Lake in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh and Vemana Lake in Kerala are the famous lagoons in India. So lagoon is nothing but is a lake. It's separated from the sea. The best example of lagoons, Odisha in Chilka, Pulkat in Tamil Nadu, Vemana Lake in Kerala. Students, we have completed the remaining lesson of landform. Today we have discussed the remaining agent like glacier, wind and host, particularly waves. Today I will distinguish between give reason and detail. You copy in your classwork note and study well. Thank you.